chair this. It's like, do we test this out first, or just so I'm not screwing up the...
No, we're going.
We're just going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. It'll be fine. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chat with a Rat, episode 13, the unlucky episode, with our unlucky guest, James Hollingsworth. Say hello, James.
Hey there, everybody.
I'll ask you the question I ask everyone first. How long have you been doing comedy for?
Ooh, I think stand-up comedy I think we're somewhere in the 2-year mark area. But I've been doing comedy, improv comedy for over 5 years. Definitely prefer the stand-up.
Yeah.
Improv's fun, but it's kind of fun to be part of, but not as fun to watch.
Right.
Very
right.
rare that it comes out good for an audience, I think.
I could see that. Yeah. I mean, I would say I agree, but I've never done improv. But I could see that like it would be fun to do, but yeah, I don't think people really dig it that much unless it's just really really good.
I think I'd say when I did improv, it was some of these games it was short form improv. So it's kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Yeah.
It's sometimes you get a good pairing. And then sometimes you'll have people if you go to a workshop or something. Mm-hmm. Some people are just there to hang out. This is a fun hobby, and then it's they're not always the funniest people,
right?
Or they have their own boundaries, and it's just not a good pairing.
How did you get started doing that?
Okay, so when I started doing stand-up, I learned that was terrifying and hard. So then I did improv, and I allowed that to distract me for a while.
Okay.
But no, improv's fun. I certainly had a lot of fun doing it.
Right.
Yeah, no, you get a lot more comedic freedom with stand-up. And
yeah.
You get to take it in your own direction. You don't have to compromise as much, and you can make your routine you can sharpen it down to what an audience would want to see and trust to see.
Yeah, well, because it's all about you, you
yeah.
know, and you're the only creative input there,
mm-hmm.
you know. It's not like a whole team of people trying to figure something out or to be funny, which, sometimes I guess could be good, but...
Mm-hmm. It's also not all on the fly.
Right.
Stuff in stand-up when it's on the fly, sure.
Yeah.
But you have your material. You have that
For sure.
baseline that you can just fall back on. Absolutely. You're expected to fall back on.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't have that, then...
yeah.
We've seen that.
Some people are really good at just getting up on stage and riffing.
Yeah, they are. I've seen people get up there and kill it just with nothing almost.
Yeah.
Those
conversational gods, I hate them all. Just terrible. Screw you. He's I did nothing to make you people laugh. Die in a fire. I spent 3 months on this dick joke.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my world.
I'm not one of those people that can sit up there and just be oh, hey, same thing. I wrote jokes for 2.5 years before I ever even did stand up the first time.
That's rough because it's you don't even test those jokes.
Yeah.
The worst thing is when you write a joke that made you laugh,
mm-hmm.
Just lose your fucking mind in the writing process, and then you just don't have an outlet for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's miserable.
Yeah. Yeah, the only person I had to run them by at the time was the person I was dating, and the person I was dating hated comedy. So everything I would run by, they would just be like, okay. I was I think it's funny.
You do look like a masochist. So I feel this is why he keeps doing this.
Yeah. Well, so you said that you did do stand-up first.
Very briefly.
Okay.
And then it's I think I quit after a week or two just to... there was a lot of off and on periods, but those on periods were very short.
Okay.
I pretty much started committing sometime around the COVID pandemic start or whatever.
Right.
Not the start, but some way where through that I found a spine. And I just started going to open mics all the time and deciding, you know what, I got enough savings, I can start fucking around and doing this stuff and trying to commit to it.
So let me see, what should I ask? What would you say would be your biggest regret during your comedy career? having to do with comedy? Maybe like something you wish you would have done, something you did do you wish you would have
I wish
done.
I would have started earlier.
Yeah,
Like
so-
I wish I would have started earlier and not allowed my nerves to sort of govern my behavior on it.
Yeah.
Because it's like just getting like the hardest part about stand up for me was starting out, just because it's like you get in front of that audience and your nerves just totally fail you.
Yeah.
You get that you know you're funny because you've told jokes before, you've gotten big laughs, people tell you you're funny.
Right.
But it's like until you've adjusted to the medium, your jokes aren't landing at all.
Right.
It's a lot of eating shit first, and it's a
Yes.
lot of like not getting used to, like you're just not used to doing public speaking.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, if I would have just like, I don't know, done it rather than be so avoidant with it and like such a, we'll say a pussy. I was basically just acting like a pussy for most of my life. Before my 30s, complete pussy.
Yeah.
2 decades wasted.
Well, you did you were involved in like entertainment though, right? Before you were doing stand up?
Yeah. So like that would be
I
the
see.
improv comedy.
Yeah, and like I seen pictures on your Facebook, like whenever I was like searching for shit for the roast.
Yeah.
Like you worked for Busch Gardens. I
Yeah,
think? Yeah, and did like entertainment stuff.
Yeah,
there?
yeah. I was Igor for the what's it called? It's It's the Fiends show. Basically, it was you had Igor and the Dr. Frankenstein, and they're
Okay.
like this comedy duo thing.
Right,
it's
right.
really cheesy comedy.
Right.
But they have like sort of this dynamic where like Igor's a perverted little sub guy who's always trying to get at those sexy fat girls and nurses and stuff.
Okay.
And he's making sex jokes all the time, and he's wacky. And the doctor's like very serious, and he's trying to get these people doing this thing, whatever the convoluted plot is. And there's a lot of pop culture references, and it's kind of risque for a theme park.
Yeah.
I enjoyed writing some of the stupid jokes for that show because like they just bring the actors in.
Oh, okay.
It's like when
so
you're going over the
let
script.
they let you write.
Yeah,
stuff
that
for
was
it?
I got to write like a John Wick joke or something.
Okay.
For like a dog that's like John Wick's dog, and then you pull him out of a thing. This was like some stupid prop box thing where we're just pulling out random stuff.
Uh-huh.
And one of them was like a pet dog or something, and I changed the joke to a John Wick dog.
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
So it's
okay.
like, oh wow, you killed the dog. It's a dead dog, and then they changed that. It's like, no, the dog's still alive. See, we make a barking noise, so it's not. We're Busch Gardens. We love animals.
Yeah, right, of course.
John Wick's dog never died. Canonical to this show.
How did you get involved in that?
Also an avoidance to doing stand-up. like seriously, a lot of my behavior is just doing things next to the funny thing, and it's
Yeah.
like it was sort of like once I started doing improv, I started doing like acting things to give me money so I could try to figure out how to do this stuff.
Right,
And it's like
right.
doing a character is a lot easier after you've done improv. Like improv works as a good building block for acting.
Yeah.
Or talking to an audience. But the problem is when you're doing acting or improv, you're dealing with like the person you're talking to, and you don't have a direct relationship with the audience necessarily. Now that being said, I was actually terrible at that acting job. Like, because one of the problems I had with stand-up was all the memorization.
Right.
Like, you don't have to memorize shit for improv. You just
Right,
you just say
right.
silly things as a
right.
silly character or
Sure.
something.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But like when you have to memorize something,
Yeah.
it's hard to like also be part of that character.
Yes.
And with the Fiends show, they just kept on changing the script on us, and they were like small changes like all the time, and they didn't always make sense or anything, but you always had to like constantly read the thing. That's hard to do when you're like in full panic mode.
Yeah.
I still hear the soundtrack to the Fiends show, and I freak the fuck out. I get a small adrenaline rush of, oh shit, I'm supposed to be somewhere I'm not currently.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they definitely like they had only 2 Igors, me and some much better actor guy who was in way better shape.
Right.
Like, cause like when I was up there, it was like, hey, you're all physical. You're this crazy little perverted guy, so we need you running up, humping ladies' legs, and
Okay.
and like jumping up and doing, little pop-up kick things from the ground that you get pushed on all the time.
Right,
And it's
right.
like, I am so fucking winded. This is late 20s James. I
Yeah.
thought I was in shape. I'm not in shape. All these dancers that are around me, they're all in shape. They're wondering why I'm breathing so hard.
Right. Yeah. That's the hard part, and I imagine probably with something like that too. But that definitely is, at least to me, that's the hardest part of stand-up, is just trying to remember everything, and like and the way you want to do it, and the way you want to say it, and it's some things come very easy, but then sometimes it's like you can throw yourself off because you're trying too hard to remember something, and then you don't deliver it the way you wanted to because you were like overthinking. I don't know. Like you get too much in your head. That's one reason why I just write like a whole bunch of short jokes. Like I'll remember my opener and my closer, and I kind of just like cookie jar like jokes. Like throughout, I'm just like, I know I have all these jokes, and I'll just kind of like throw them out there because it's like so hard for me to like remember an exact order.
Like a narrative.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll do like a little overarching, like I'll break it down into like segments to where like I know I want to start this first part off with this, the second part off with this, third part off with this, But that's about as far as I could go. I don't think I could remember like every joke, like in a row, like exactly how I wanted to tell them. I want this joke now, and then this joke. It's just a lot, especially when you have a lot of short jokes. Like
definitely, the short jokes are can be really difficult to memorize, especially if you have them in a specific order. And if you do have them in a specific order, apparently some comics will notice that and immediately think that you're too rehearsed. You remember the joke I told tonight where I was like, everyone's got like, most comics have like if someone tells me 3 accurate statements about my comedy, I might just walk out into traffic.
Right.
This is one of those things that was said to me. It's like, no, this is gonna stick with me. This is gonna stick and hurt, and it hurts when you know it's true. But yeah, being able to just sort of talk and riff, like I think we were talking earlier about like how like some of the comics that have been doing this for a lot longer than us, you can sort of see that they have this natural kind of stage presence. Like one time I saw like I was doing like a spot at Snappers or whatever. I saw some comics, and in there I saw them twice because it was like this head-to-head competition thing where I do 5 minutes and some other comic does 5 minutes. Totally bombed this night. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is I'm watching these other comics, and they're like they have like this hour they're talking or this half hour they're talking, and they're just sort of going off on whatever material they want to do. It's not like this straight rehearsed thing. It feels very conversational. You're hearing the same bits, but also with different jokes, and it's like flowing in different ways.
Right.
Like it felt like a lot more natural and provisional. There's a lot of responding to the audience and playing off the audience.
For sure.
And I think that you just have to keep doing it. I think most of this is just like, how comfortable are you with talking in front of an audience, and that just means eating a lot of dick over the years. I think it's just going up and up and up and up.
And I mean, and that's the thing too. Like after you've been doing it for so long, you have jokes that like you don't have to even try to remember. You just like they're just there. So like even I have some jokes that are like that. Like I would never have to like try to think of them or whatever. They're just like I've told them so many times. I almost hate telling them now. Because I'm just like so sick of them. But like I know they work, so I use them still. But I imagine like once you've been doing it, for a long time, you probably have tons of jokes like that. So you can just like do kind of more just like a conversational and just throw jokes in there or whatever because you just have everything like at the ready. It's like nothing. That's what it all comes just from, just like anything else. The more you do it, the more comfortable you are with it, and the more material you have, the more prepared you are. So
I think a lot of it is just like fear is the mind killer of what we're doing into this. It's just
that is like anytime I overthink or like stress myself out, I do worse. Anytime I'm like just like whatever, fuck it. That's when I always do best. Anytime I'm overthinking things, I'll do way worse. And so I always try to like tell myself like don't stress out about it or whatever. But that's hard.
No, definitely. Yeah. It's like feelings suck. They're just there. You don't get to control them. They're just like these shitty things you have. I remember. Let's see here. Like I did this show for like it was like before a sketch show or something. They were like, hey, they need more time to prepare. Can you guys do like more time than the 10 minutes you were told?
Mhm.
And I was like, oh yeah, of course I can, because at this point I had like 15 minutes. I have the material.
Right.
I've done the material.
Yeah.
But because it was like a last minute change,
Yeah.
my amygdala is like, hey, you should fuck all this up and
Right.
stop at 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even do the original amount of time
Right.
you rehearsed for.
Yeah.
Just skip one joke in the order you had it in,
Yeah.
and then realize you can't go back, and then do zero improvisational
Yes.
work, even though you have 5 years experience of that shit.
Right.
Don't even just panic in front of the audience and leave, and
Yeah.
hope someone else does it. That's basically what I did. It was.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's like the show that you had me on, not too long ago. I was like, I know I have more than enough material to do this time or whatever. But it was same thing. Like I started overthinking it, and I was like trying to prepare too much, and I was like, I'm going to do it like this, and I'm going to do it like this, and then so when I got up there, everything was going good, and then I couldn't remember that transfer into that next area of jokes, and when I couldn't think of that, I was just like, shit, dude.
Yeah.
And I also didn't know how long. Like whenever you're on stage, you feel like you've been up there way longer than you really.
Oh
have.
yeah, sometimes.
So yeah, so like.
If it's a quiet room, yes.
Yeah.
If it's
no, I mean, it was going well.
Yeah, I thought it was. That's why I was so surprised
yeah.
when it ended so fast.
Yeah,
In fact,
yeah.
everyone in the green room was surprised. They were like, wait, did Malachi fuck everything up for our comedy show? And I was like, Trish, relax. It sometimes happens. And then like Rashad was like, whoa, calm down, Trish. And she was like breaking bottles and getting ready to, I'm going to cut that skinny white boy, is what she said. And I don't know, it just took all of us calming her down. And I was like, okay, I got to get Malachi off. Is he going to be safe if we bring him back here? And, she made no promises, but I was like, well, I can't just leave him up in front of that audience,
Yeah, well,
with no one on stage. I got to put someone up next.
It is what it is.
It's hard running a show, especially when your like first comic fails you on such a such a deep and personal level. So you think like, I'm going to give this guy an opportunity. He just totally he shits the bed. He shits the bed in front of everyone.
Totally
It makes you look like a fool.
Totally blew it. Pissed off the whole crowd.
Yeah, they don't want me. They don't want me back. They were like, don't run shows here at Kazuba.
I walked the owner.
Yeah. They were like, we're gonna let you run these other 4 comedians, but honest to God, if you guys just all got the fuck out of my restaurant, I think that would probably be for the best.
Yeah.
No, we're doing another show like September 10th. That was awesome. That was a really fun show.
It was a great show.
I don't think audiences notice if you like just do 10 minutes.
No, I don't think they did either. And that's why I kind of like I started blanking. And like as soon as I started blanking, I like gave myself like a couple seconds to like think of it or whatever. And when I couldn't think of it, I was like, it's better just to like close it out and get off stage and just stand up here and like try to like fucking think. And
I appreciate that
and be silent. And also because like I say, I was doing well up until that point, So I was like, it probably won't. They won't even think it's weird. I'm just like, okay, well, good night. That's the thing, Because the last joke I did got a laugh. It wasn't like I ended on a dud or whatever. So I was just like, that's probably for the best, just to like just go ahead and leave it. But yeah, I don't think they noticed either. I had a bunch of people come to me afterwards and like, you were fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
No. Yeah, honestly, I think it's better to always just leave early if you hit a mental block or something. Like you don't have. I'm still paying you the same amount. I expect some level of inaccuracy with exactly how much time is done.
Yeah.
Like it's not ideal,
right?
But like I'm not gonna
get up there and do 4 minutes for you.
Yeah. If it was 4 minutes, I'd be like, dude, what fucking drugs were you on? When you decided to come here? Like, I get you drove with Rashad and you got to ride home. That doesn't mean you do a bunch of heroin before I throw you up on stage.
That's just my normal routine.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't want you doing so much heroin that you can only do 4 minutes, right? Like it's
fair enough. Yeah. Just sitting up there like my head nodded off, like
I like the idea of you driving with Rashad, doing a bunch of heroin in the passenger seat, and he's just like looking out for cops, like they're gonna shoot me.
He's like, Malachi, I told you not to bring that shit in my car.
Here, let me take off my shirt so all the cops can see my ACAB tattoo along my stomach. Let's just be the worst person for you to drive with, Rashad.
Who was it? You the other? I can't remember who it was. Somebody the other day was saying when I like lifted my. I don't remember why. Oh no. We went to an open mic. Me and LJ and like Joe Murray and Alex. We all went to this open mic, which now no longer will allow comedians there.
Oh no, okay.
Especially me. Apparently, I was the one that made everyone mad. And I only was up there for like a minute. Literally, I wasn't even going to go on stage because the crowd did not want to see comedy that night. But the only reason I went on stage is they were like, "Oh, you get a free beer if you go on stage." And I was like, "Okay, I'll go up there."
Yeah.
So I like went up there and did like a minute, and I was like, "None of you care. None of you are listening." And then I was like, "Hail Satan, good night," and like walk off stage. And apparently that pissed off a bunch of people. So that now they're like, "Oh, we can't do comedy anymore." And I was like, "Okay," but anyways, that night. LJ has that joke of like where he like lifts his shirt off, like lifts his shirt up, like past his belly or whatever, and talking about like how he's like, oh, I'm 37 and blah blah blah, like past his belly. And I was like, dude, I've been waiting to follow you when you do that joke. I was like, I never got the chance. I was like, because I want to go up there and be like, I'm also 37, and then like lift my shirt and pat my belly, and like and I like did that, and like when I did it, they were like, do you have a cab tattooed across your stomach? And I was like, yes. And they were like, Jesus Christ.
Honestly, you have so many tattoos that it's hard to like tell any of them apart.
Exactly.
It's like it becomes like camouflage.
Exactly.
Almost. It's like once you get enough, it's like you have none.
I have so many that I probably couldn't even tell. Like if somebody was like talking about one of my tattoos, like I probably wouldn't even know unless it was like one of like the big ones, you know, or something. But like I've had like people like mention a tattoo before and be like, I don't think I have, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, never mind. Yes, I do have that tattooed on me. And it's like it is like that. Once you get so many, it is almost just like it blends together almost.
I had when I was working at Panera Bread, there was this one really cool guy I liked talking to. Like he was like one of the prep food workers, and that was right by the dishes. I was a delivery driver, so when we're not delivery driver, we're doing dishes.
Okay.
And this guy would just get tattoos every once in a while. Young guy, just starting out. He's gonna look something like you when he's around 37.
Right.
But right now he's just like 18.
Yeah.
He's doing dumb 18-year-old things. And he's doing the thing where he's getting discount tattoos. Apparently they'll just be like, yeah, we'll give you a small tattoo.
Like the $13 tattoos.
Yeah, some
for
shit
Friday
like that.
the 13th and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And he had like a bunch of tattoos like, yeah, it's like a star from Mario. And then it was like, one of them was like, it's like Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
Like, he had a Wednesday Addams tattoo, and I asked him, and I was like, oh, so you're like an Addams Family fan? He's like, what's the Addams Family? It's like, wait. Like, you know, Wednesday Addams. It's the girl tattoo you have on your...
Right.
Oh, I just got that because it looked cool.
I guarantee you the reason he got that is he went to a Friday the 13th special at a tattoo shop, and they had it on a flash sheet, and he was like, oh, I like that one, or whatever, and just picked it up. It's because, you know, I used to be a tattoo artist, and we would do those Friday the 13th specials, and like, so on Friday the 13th, you can get a $13 tattoo, and like, it's usually a $13 tattoo plus a $7 tip, so it's like $20, you know, it's just a flat $20. But what we do is we make flash sheets of the tattoos we're willing to do for $13. Most of them are just like little small whatever. Like it'll be like a bat or like, you know, like a crescent moon with 13 next to it or something. Yeah. It's always just like really like whatever. Shit we know we can knock out in like a matter of like 10-15 minutes. And there's always like a huge line of people. People love getting tattooed for cheap, man. Even if like, you know, and it's funny because we're always like, even if you were to like diversify all of our flash sheets, still so many of you are leaving here with the exact same tattoo.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
you just have to hope that you never run into each other because that's weird.
I had this girl come in one time. She was either 18 or 19, I can't remember. She had no tattoos. And she came in and she wanted to get this bat that we had on the flash sheet tattooed on her face.
Ooh. That's a hard first one.
Yeah. I think
this is going to be a conversation.
I think it was like right here or something.
Around the eye.
Close to like somewhere on the temple or something. I can't remember exactly where it was.
I can see a tattoo like that kind of being cool.
Yeah, sure.
But if it's like your only one, and it's a face tattoo.
You should never get your face tattooed first. Because face tattoos is a big commitment. Not so much nowadays. Tattoos are kind of just like whatever now.
Yeah.
Especially like back whenever I first started getting my face tattooed, like even my friends who were tattoo artists and covered in tattoos were like, "You're insane, bro! I would never tattoo my face." Now all of them have face tattoos, but at the time it was like a very, you know, something you didn't see a lot. But But still, for like an 18, 19-year-old, no tattoos, so you get your face tattooed. I'm like, don't know if that's a great idea. And like nobody in there wanted to do it. Everyone's like, no, not doing it.
I like how the tattoo artists all become this girl's father in
Right,
that moment.
right.
It's like, oh, a face tattoo.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
young lady of mine that I'm gonna tattoo
Yeah.
is gonna get a face tattoo.
But I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to make $20 more.
What was that? It kind of reminds me of that Fight Club quote where it's like, I wanted to destroy something beautiful.
Yeah. So
you're like a face tattoo vampire. You just don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, good. There's one of us, so it'll be more acceptable.
I've never cared. There's a lot of people that are like, I have tried to talk people out of getting tattoos that I just think are like really stupid tattoos.
Yeah.
Like there was like a 16-year-old kid that came in one time with his dad and wanted to get a tribal Superman logo on his arm, and his dad was signing off on it. And I was like, that is the stupidest tattoo. Like, you are going to regret this. Like, try it, you know.
And just look at all my tattoos. These are the ones that meet my criteria of good.
Yeah.
And you're just going to get this shit?
Yeah.
It's like, really, look at me and then judge yourself. That's what you need to do. Everyone's always looking at me and judging me. Like, maybe see the mirror.
All I know is everyone I've ever known that has tribal tattoos, like, regret getting them. Every single person that I know. But he got it anyway, so I was like, whatever, I tried.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think around the arm, that's kind of like,
yeah,
who cares?
Yeah,
It's
on your arm. Let's switch it up. I'll ask you, what is the worst bomb you remember that's like still sticks with you?
Ooh. So you remember that Snapper show where I told you I bombed, right?
Yeah.
It was that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I basically it was a head-to-head competition, kind of like Last Comic Standing.
Okay.
Last Comic Survivor, kind of. It was that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was some themed reality show kind of thing, but it wasn't a reality show. It was just like we're doing 2 5-minute comics.
Were they filming it?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
But basically, it was like done on Christmas Eve. I had so much caffeine in my system just to be ready for it,
Right.
which is a terrible idea because we
Yeah,
just had that long
caffeine,
conversation
Jesus, yeah.
of well, you want to be awake.
Well, I usually
you want to be energized.
I want something to bring me down.
Yeah.
Because my anxiety is always like.
Yeah, my anxiety was definitely high that night.
Yeah, I bet.
And like, I didn't know this audience. Like, it was very, it was kind of like very conservative family kind of audience.
Okay.
And I was doing a lot of my jokes about like my roommate and her stalker ex, and stuff like that. Like, I think I had one joke about choking a woman and maybe going too far, and then the only thing scarier than that is like when she wakes up in the trunk screaming as you're trying to drive off to the Everglades.
Right,
you know that joke. Yeah. So it's like I was telling jokes like that, and I didn't get like my first laugh until like halfway through the set.
Yeah, well, at least you got something.
It was like mind blowing because it's like, this is a set that I've done at a bunch of different places, and it's always gone well.
Yeah.
Right? I have video of those same jokes going well, but either how I'm telling them or how this audience, like what kind of jokes this audience likes, I'm just totally off the level with them. And it's like, it's just terrible. Like, once I get the first joke halfway through, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But I'm talking a lot faster as I'm realizing the jokes aren't working. It's like, which is just one of those shitty things your body does when things aren't working out. It's like, oh, things aren't working out. Well, we should panic and make this go worse.
Yeah, make it go even worse.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was my shitty night.
Yeah.
And then it was like, there's 2 shows, so I get to do the same shit again. Like, maybe it was just this audience. Maybe the later audience will get this material.
Right.
Exact same problem.
Oh, no.
So now not only do I look bad during that show, I look like the other comics. The only feedback they know is like, wow, this guy's just really terrible.
Right.
He's just why is he doing these same jokes that aren't working? Like, he came to a contest with this? It's like, no, literally every other place in Florida has like these jokes.
Right.
I'm not fucking crazy.
Right.
It might have been the energy I had at the time, just because it's like, you know, maybe some nervous energy, and they smell that weakness.
That can kill it, man. I was just saying this to somebody. We were just talking about it. If you don't believe in your jokes, and if the crowd can see that you don't believe in your jokes, then they won't believe in your jokes. And like, nervous energy will make it look like that, you know. Yeah, that's very possible. Because I have seen people get up